No bastard ever won a war by dying for his country. You won it by making the other poor dumb bastard die for his country. And then, all this stuff you heard about America not wanting to fight, wanting to stay out of the war, is a lot of horse dung. Americans traditionally love to fight. All real Americans love staying in battle.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Citizen Channel. We've got some important updates regarding the guillotines, where a retired FBI agent has told patriot groups that Obama's feds have set up over 30,000 guillotines for future use across the United States. And before we get started, I'd like to welcome all our new subscribers. And if you're not a subscriber and you find that you like this channel, I'd like to ask that you comment, rate, and subscribe below. Alright, so now many of you may be familiar with the circulating in print and online the controversy surrounding guillotines in America. This man by the name of Ted Gunderson, he said he had to say this to patriot groups across America in 2009. He said it's one thing to hear this from a conservative site like Alex Jones or Drudge Report, but when a rabidly liberal site like the Democratic Underground starts reporting on this, you know the truth's starting to ooze out of Washington, or leak to you on purpose to prepare you. Now, as Gunderson is a retired FBI agent, Gunderson tells a gathering of anti-government patriots that the federal government has set up 1,000 internment camps across the country and is storing 30,000 guillotines and 500,000 caskets in Georgia. He says they're there for the day that the government finally declares martial law and moves into Roundup or kill American dissenters, he says. They're going to keep track of all of us folks, Gunderson warns. So it makes you want to think whether this issue with the guillotines being dispersed across the nation, sitting and waiting for us, is true. You know, that is the million-dollar question, and that's one that I'd like to be answered. These killing machines are intended to strike fear into the heart of anyone who sees one. Imagine if you saw one used a few times on dissident citizens who were non-compliant to government orders. You know, I do think this would be an effective tool to install fear into the masses and cause compliance. So the truth of the FEMA camps and the NDAA and the new executive orders are becoming clearer and clearer. You know, the National Guard has a video out to recruit soldiers for the MOS of internment specialists. The video can be seen on YouTube, and for as long as it stays up, the dissemination of information over the internet is mandatory for the awakening of American patriots who will not stand by and watch this country destroyed by tyrants. You know, the sad fact of the matter is that the real threat from terrorists is our own government. Alright, so another interesting note that might handshake well with this is the red and blue lists, which are reportedly in existence. These are lists of people that the government feels are a threat and which would be the first to visit these camps. They're also discussed at length by former CIA employees on YouTube. Just search for red and blue lists and enjoy the videos you'll find. And you know, if half the information out there is accurate, we're in for one hell of a ride. Alright, so let's take a moment to look at this video. This is Police Officer Jack McLam where he exposes FEMA. Take a look at this.
But anyway, I've had people calling me saying they go out to their mailbox and they find a little red dot or a little blue dot on their mailbox, and they wonder what the little red dot and blue dot is. Well, it's marking your mailbox by the government, so when foreign troops come in here on us after martial law, if you have a red dot on your mailbox, they take you out immediately and shoot you right in the head. But if you have a blue dot, they take you to the FEMA camps being built by Halliburton right now to house 50 million Americans. They're building enough concentration camps in America by Halliburton that Cheney's getting rich off of, Vice President Cheney's getting rich off of, to put those with the blue dot on your mailbox in those concentration camps. Now, if you go out and you find a pink dot on your mailbox, that means that they believe you'll be a good slave and you're going to go along with the program and serve our international Antichrist masters. So watch for that dot. They haven't got up to our area yet because they're afraid we might catch them putting the dots on the mailbox and they wouldn't get back to their home at night, you know, if we catch them.
There are also military personnel spilling the beans, so to speak, for anyone who's willing to listen. It's been said that all is required for evil to prevail is for good men to do nothing. And I don't believe that the patriots who are armed in this country will stand by idly and allow tyranny to prevail. And on top of this, the ability or lack thereof to produce a photo of a guillotine adds no credence one way or the other as whether guillotines have been mass-produced for the mass slaughter of targeted people. Images have become a useful tool to confirm a lie instead of truth. A large majority of truths are from reports, not from images, which are not available. And everybody and their mother's got a phone with a camera these days, so capturing an image would be quite easy. But another theory on the guillotines, for what it's worth, it's said that it simplifies the collection of body parts for use later. They take the head for corneal transplants, etc., while the body is stripped at the same time of hearts, livers, and other useful parts. Of course, this only postpones the inevitable for a very short time. All right, and something that just came to my mind might be worthwhile checking out. So I guess the next time you're in town, might be worthwhile stopping by your local Office Max or Office Depot and maybe picking up a 50-pack of those blue dots, just to keep handy, just in case. So I guess to wrap things up, all things considered, there's still a human factor here. Of course, unless the machines are automated, an executioner would still be required. And since soldiers get PTSD from combat, how much more would someone's mind suffer under the stress of being a guillotine operator? They might have trouble hiring for such a position. And, I've not found anything new regarding the guillotine hypothesis. Personally, I think it's likely a fun, donation, generation, fluff, / fear-mongering, disinfo type thing at this point. The camps may or may not be true, but the fact that I can personally invalidate entries on the camps list for my given region, and, that it was woefully outdated information would tend towards it being only useful for disinfo at this point. It's people who go out and check may likely find nothing in these areas specified, but apparently no one has even bothered to make a new list of these sites. Personally, I'd think Walmart supercenters and the like might serve the same purpose. They certainly have the surveillance for it. All right, guys and gals, that's going to wrap up this edition of The Citizen. Remember, if you like this channel, please comment, rate, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you later.
Deeply, the roots are in place. It's bright in the sun and it's dark in my day.